This is Isaac Smith, and this video is going to be on the disassembly and reassembly of a Smith Wesson MP 9C, which is their compact version of the 9mm military and police handgun. First, let's make sure we get an empty weapon, nothing in the magazine, and nothing in the chamber. At the bottom of the handle, there's a little tool here, which we're actually use for disassembly. If we get into the inner workings, there's a little pin, which is right here, that has to go forward. That locking pin will prevent you from disassembling that if it's actually not in that forward position right here. So I'll give you a close look as we get it off. Once it's forward, you can actually take off this locking lever, putting it back from the 3 o'clock position into the 6 o'clock. We're then going to dry fire to let that go forward. And taking a look inside, we actually see that little pin right here. There's like just a little, that goes forward, backward. There's like a little locking lever right there that goes up and down and prevents that from coming off. So now that we've got that apart, we can take a look at taking the barrel off of the slide here, taking off the slide spring, and then removing the barrel. The 9mm caliber is actually located here on top of the barrel top, so you can actually determine caliber. And then you can also see the bottom has all of our linkage assembly for that spring. So when you're assembling or reassembling, it's always very important to make sure it's the right location. So here's a good example of where we're at disassembled. If you're going to be cleaning the weapon, you'd be doing that now. But we're going to put it right back together so you can do that whenever you need to. So that reinserts that way. Smaller front that points toward the muzzle, larger back that's going to go toward the back of the gun. Put that back in place just like so. At that point, we're ready to reassemble the slide rail back on top. Go right forward to here. Slide that back in place. Lock that back open. We're going to go ahead and push that back shut right there. Go back from the 6 o'clock back to 3 o'clock. Drop that forward. We put our little tool back inside the handle. And we are reassembled. All right. Please feel free to leave any comments, questions, or suggestions in the comments below. Thanks and have a great day. Isaac Smith here with a review on the Uplula Speed Loader. And if you've never seen one of these, or maybe you've seen one, I'm not quite sure, if you want to pick up one of these, this might be a good chance to take a look and see how she works, what she does, and why you might want one of these. There's a little locking mechanism to actually help it store in your bag to save space. So when you're going to use it, you got to basically unlock that little lock there if you want to use that. There's a little slide that allows us to kind of push down on the magazine and work it. I'm going to just kind of first show you going over this. We've all done it this way before, trying to load a bunch of these rounds, and it takes a bunch of time. It definitely kills your fingers. Not everybody's got the strongest or most calloused of fingers, so if you're a little more sensitive, this might hurt a little bit, take more time, because for sure if you're on the shooting range and you're out there trying to shoot at targets and get the bullets going, you might spend a little more time doing this than that. So definitely something to consider. These guys run from caliber range from 9mm all the way up to 45 caliber, so regardless of whatever center fire ammunition you use, it's going to work the same. These magazines here are Smith Wesson SD, which hold 1440 caliber, so pretty good size capacity, and definitely you feel it if you do one magazine full. And especially once you get to the top right here, that last bullet just doesn't want to go, but there's one good to go here. So in comparison, like I kind of said, there's a little metal lever here now that just kind of basically goes on top, kind of sits over the top of that, and as we push it down, it'll just push that slide down a little bit. So Best if you set it down the lever there, and now we're just kind of dropping and inserting. It's got a little spring mechanism to help it kind of push down and slide. Just kind of release it. But definitely saves the fingers from that first ordeal. The definitely value is going to save your fingers over time, and just the pain and suffering that these reloads cause. So right about there, and here's number 14. So definitely something to consider if you want to have a little bit of savings to your fingers, and long term, especially if you're going to be out there for an hour reloading and getting yourself going on the shooting range. A little more time to practice, a little less pain in your fingers, and definitely a good option to get one of these guys. They're definitely, I would highly recommend one of the Uplula speed loaders from 9mm all the way up to 45 caliber. So thanks for watching. If you got any comments or questions, please feel free to leave those down below in the comments section.